But I come at home, I say to my wife, at this moment was not my wife, I cannot arrive to 60 years. I cannot say I never tried to do some. So I decided to left my job, and I started with my company.
Planet Guitar is fortunate today to be talking to Marco De Virgiliis, who is founder and head of Markbass, which is one of the main bass amp brands in the world. Welcome, Marco.
Thank you. Nice to meet you.
And you. I'd like to kick off by asking you about your name. I read that the root of De Virgiliis probably came from the word virtuous, having high moral standards. I'd like to ask you, what are your key values?
Thanks for your question. I think that the most important values of for my work and my company is that we have a lot of passion. I always had a lot of passion for my work, for musical instrument, and with also with big enthusiasm for what I made. In the same way, we like to think in different way. When I think a product, I think I am thinking to some news in the market. I know very well the market. I know very well all the products. At the same time, I like to go to think a different way. Thanks to this, we always have a lot of innovation in our market. One of the most important slogan for my brand is passion for innovation. So passion innovation is very important, not only from me, but all my company. If you come to visit my company, you understand very well that all people has put passion in his work. So this, I think, is a very important part of my life and my company.
Do you come from a musical family?
No, my father was not a musician. My mother was not a musician. But I was studying in high school when I was very young, and also I always liked the electronic and speakers also. So from these two passion for me was very important, music and electronics, and um, and I'm lucky because my work is music and electronics. And also for me, it's not a work. I'm really lucky because I like to come in the company. Our company is very special place where we can work, and you can see my instruments. I play sax, trumpet, clarinet. So, and this my story come from two big passions: music and electronics. So this is the result.
I see. I read that you built your first amplifier when you were 6 years old. Is that really true?
Yes, I always was playing instrument. I was in love with electronics. So I was really young, and when I destroy many amplifier, and but all my life I remember always with some electronics, some speakers, some amplifiers. Yes.
But at 6 years old, I mean, where did you get the materials from to do this?
Because I was studying with a school that I don't know the name. The school that was all months. This school was sending me the material to follow this school, and so I was really young when I bought my first amplifier, scope meter, and so I always had the passion for this.
Do you remember that moment when you first built an amplifier and you plugged it in and made it work? Do you remember it?
I remember well because I bought this time. I remember we start from PCB from the we made also the PCB. So before we designed the with the pencil the circuit, then we put in the acid. So I was really young, and the moment where I was hearing my first amplifier was too much nice, but Also today, I have the same sensation when I try the first time my new amplifier. It always is the same feeling I have.
Lovely. I'd like to know about your musical tastes, and I would like to directly ask you if you give me three albums that come to mind now that have influenced you when you were younger. Three main albums.
It's strange because when I was young, I had a great passion for jazz, and for jazz I was playing sax. So Stepside with Michael Brecker was one of the album that was very important for me. The Supertramp album, the
Breakfast in America?
yes, yes, and was also very important for the sound. Was Then there was also from the gender side of John Coltrane was very important for me. Also then Jaco, Mark King. I always hear all kind of music, but when I was young, the saxophone was my instrument. Before, so I had the first idea to make the bass amplifier. I had this idea to make the bass amplifier when I was young. I was playing with the band, and I was playing my sax, and I was hearing in my band the guy that was playing bass. And at this point, I said, okay, I can do some news for the bass. I like to do some amplifier. So this was my story.
I understand that at that time the role of the bass guitar was changing. How was it changing?
Was changing because at this time there was coming, was Jaco Pastorius was one of the young bass player that all people was crazy for him, and there was also the Mark King, Marcus Miller was starting to play in different way. So my idea was that in this moment was very famous. The Trace Elliot was very famous, but in my idea, the amplifier, perfect amplifier for this kind of music, the evolution of the bass, was one amplifier that with a much more band, much more fidelity. The first slogan of my amplifier was the real sound of your bass. I remember that I was reading a magazine about Marcus Miller. He was saying he was working on the studio. He said that was impossible to have his sound. Then he put directly in the mixer his bass, and so from this moment he say, "Whoa, this is my sound." This was very important for my evolution about the musical instruments.
Interesting. You studied electrical engineering and started working for an electronics company, but felt trapped. Then one day in 1996, you went home and said, "Mum, I quit my job." How did
Yeah.
that feel?
Yes, were very hard moment. This is true, and I remember that I was working on this company, a very nice company. I had a very nice work, but I come at home. I said to my wife, at this moment was not my wife, I cannot arrive to 60 years. I cannot say I never tried to do some. So I decided to left my job, and I started with my company, but was very hard because at the first years was very
I understood that you drove all over Italy in your Peugeot to promote your amplifier.
yeah, yes, because my Peugeot was very important because it was a very old car, and without nothing. I remember that it was with 40 degree around of Italy to visit many bass player because I asked him to I was asking to them to try my amps, and the tour in Italy with this car was very hard. It's impossible for one guy today to do this because I was making around 150,000 kilometers per year, and with this car that was very hard, and many times without money. I have not money to eat, but I used the money for fuel, so was very hard moment.
Marco, I've read that you survived on hard parmesan and salads because they were the cheapest things.
Yes. How is possible that you know this? Yes, it's true. Because I was buying only the special offer. I remember in this at the time there was a special offer of chicken and salad, a parmigiano. And for some months I was eating only this.
Can you recall a particularly difficult moment during those travels when you mentally thought, I'm not sure about this?
No, there was a lot of bad moment, but that is nice. What is nice in my story that I always worry was what is the with so focused on my work that for me was impossible that the people were stopping me. My idea was to do amplifier, and all problem was also big problem for me was not the problem. I was I have not the word to say to explain, but I was so happy, so focused on my product, and without to think to the money. I never was thinking to the money. I was thinking to my dream, and always I said, without the money, it's okay. You can work. Without the dream, it's not possible to work. I always was following this idea.
But I know that part of your idea as well was to market abroad, and you went to Germany, and I believe that in Frankfurt, your poor Peugeot died on you.
At this moment, was not Peugeot, was Volkswagen Passat.
Ah, okay.
I just arrived. I remember I arrived in Frankfurt. I was in very bad hotel, and my car was dead. At this time, I asked to some guy in Germany as I can come as I can go at home with this car. He said to me, "No, this is not possible, Marco. This car is dead." So one of my friend that was in Germany said, "Marco, I have one my friend, Italian friend, that can help you." I remember exactly that he come in to check my car. And he said to me, he was an Italian guy from Calabria. He said to me, "Marco, you can go at home, but you at one condition: you start and you never stop." This I did. I arrived at my home. When I arrived at in Lanciano, was the village of my father. I I switched off the car. From this moment, the car was dead.
What a moment! But
Yeah,
things certainly changed for you. I think from 2001 when you founded your own company, and things
yeah.
started to look immediately much better.
Yes, because in '98 was working with the Music Man, but also this was a very hard period because I was not the owner, so it was very difficult for me to work at that time. And also the decision was not all from me, so it was very hard moment for me. In 2001, I decided to start with my company, with my brand, and so I decided Markbass because I like to have one name that was more English sound, with more English sound. I was working for 6 months. I remember I said to my wife, for 6 months I need to work now because it was my last chance. And so I from October to April I worked on a new line, and we introduced this new line in Rimini for the Italian show. And from this moment, all was going well.
Marco, I remember the amplifiers used to be very, very heavy. I think they were made of ceramic material. And I believe that you found a material called Neo, which was unique at that time.
Yeah, yes, because I was the first to use the neodymium.
Yes.
The neodymium that all people said that no, the neodymium is not working. It's not possible to work with the neodymium. I was the first to work with BSC speakers, Italian company, to fix the first speaker at the neodymium. And also, I worked on the wood, on many things on the cabinet. So we had the cabinet that was the more light in the world. I remember. Uh, what's his name? One bass player that was playing with the Joe Satriani, Matt Bissonette. I remember Matt when I arrived in Italy, he checked my cabinet. He was playing the cabinet. Marco, this is amazing, fantastic. But when he tried to come si dice?
Pick it
To
up.
lift to
Yeah.
lift the cabinet, I remember he said, "Marco, I love you," because was amazing. So he was the first to do this. Absolutely. Now all people is using the neodymium. That is strange. Or people saying that we are so light, but I was doing this 25 years ago.
I'm sure that anyone who has played live music and afterwards at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning been carrying amplifiers appreciate
Yes, absolutely.
your work incredibly.
Yes. And now again, with the new line that we are introducing now,
Mm.
new line is amazing because the 14 inch is only 12 kilogram, and
We'll
all
come to
people
that,
is crazy for this.
we'll come to that in a moment, please. But
Okay,
I'd like
okay.
to ask you about your distinctive yellow and black design. Was that your choice?
Yes, because also when I was children, I was in love with yellow. My mother knows that I was always in love with yellow. I remember the first time I was calling my suppliers for speaker. I said him one morning, "Hey, the name was Lorenzo. Lorenzo, I need the yellow speakers. Can you help me?" He said to me, "Marco, please don't joke in this morning. I am so busy. Don't joke, please." No, I'm not joking. I want yellow speakers. And so my idea was because that I like to have the possibility to see the speakers also from
Far away. Far
yes,
away.
yes,
Yeah.
yes.
I believe you also have a motorbike which is yellow and black.
I live with the yellow and black.
I see.
I have the car, I have the moto, I have all is yellow and black in my life.
What can you give me something funny that you've got that's yellow and black at home that people wouldn't know about?
I said, what is nice that Marcus Miller come one day here in the company.
Yes.
He said to me, "Oh, this guy lives with yellow and black because in the company all is yellow and black. So all also the gate of the company, and I live with this. So
I see. Then in 2008, 2009, the financial crisis hit very badly in Italy, particularly, and it was difficult to get wood and electronic parts. So you moved production to Indonesia. Was that a tough decision?
yes, because at this time we was working very well in Italy, but at this moment all was much more difficult, and so I was calling all my people. I said we need to change. We need to change very fast, or we will be dead. So in 6 months we started with the production in Indonesia, but in different way from the company. We was making the amplifier in Indonesia, but always when I arrived in Italy, we check the amplifier, we checked all about we never ship directly from Indonesia. And thanks to this, our quality is very, very high, was very high. And so after the first 6 months, the people was saying, "Oh, Markbass now is made in Indonesia." When the people was checking the quality, all was perfect.
That's wonderful. So, if we can fast forward to today and ask you some questions, Markbass is established globally, and your amplifiers are used by the most famous bass players. You say Marcus Miller, Richard Bono, Eric Gales, Greg Howe,
Yes.
many, many. How do you develop and maintain your relationship with these people? Because they're all over the world, they live stressful lives. How do you do that?
Today is very simple because with Marcus, for example, we speak is very simple to speak by WhatsApp. It's much simple, and then I meet some time on US or here. Then there is the manager that the tour manager. I work with all other my people. But about the instrument, about the products, new idea, we spoke together. For example, I remember Marcus Miller sent me one day one message. He said, Marco, can you make one preamplifier that I can use always with me? And so in this moment was born the vintage preamplifier that now we're selling everywhere. The same with Richard. Richard is like a friend, like a partner. We speak sometime in the night because he always around the world. My problem, I'm lucky because also I don't sleep too much. So I speak with all my top endorse and we are really friendly. We have no contract, we're nothing. We are friendly and we work together in very nice way.
You have no contracts. That's incredible. It's punk rock.
We are with some we have some contract with some but it is not is the important part
Yes,
because I know all my people my endorse from many years
yes.
and, we have agreement with different we all my people but for example Adrien Ferro I know Adrien Ferro from when he was really young. Mark King I speak sometimes with Mark King so I think it's not. I like also because all these people was my hero when he was young. He
Yes.
was playing, and now I can speak with Jeff Berlin. I can joke with Jeff Berlin. I can speak with Marcus Miller. I can speak with Richard. It's very nice. With Frank Gambari is my friend. Greg Gow, Eric Gales. So it's nice. A very nice part of my life.
Your products are used by a wide range of bases, from amateurs to professionals. How do you ensure they're accessible to musicians at all levels?
In this moment, we are very strong from we can say this from $500 to 3,000. We are preparing the market. We are preparing some product to also for entry level market, but we all kind of music, all people that play rock, jazz, blues, all people is using Markbass now. So we have a very good spread in all kind of music, and now we like to also make some product that is for more entry level area.
On your Instagram page, you have a woman who's playing bass guitar. How important is it for you to embrace a broad audience in your advertising?
Now, essentially, we have a new marketing team that is really young because I think that we need young people to stay in touch with the market today, especially with the socials, because the market is another thing. But so I have this team that is all this team is more is young people, and he stay in touch with YouTubers, with the people that follows the Instagram. And sometimes also when I see in the night some people, some guy that I like, I say to my guys, okay, I like to speak with this guy, and we work in this way.
Do you have any women who are endorsees of your bass guitars?
Yes, we have several women. We have from Italy, from France, from USA. Now also some young people, and it's more and more important to have also young people because before the bass, when I was young, no one woman was playing bass. Now it's full of women that is playing bass. So is changing. My like this is very important for us.
I've been reading on your webpage about the MB58R series. Could you tell us a little bit about any products which you're particularly excited about?
So this product was born during the COVID, during the during this moment we was worried about was the world is the situation of the world, and so I decided to check to think a different way again. I was come posso dire, in a supermarket. I would check. I always check. I'm checking always in my life to for different material from different idea that also is not used in the musical instrument market. And I had this idea. I remember the company at this time was without no many people because was closed. And so I was checking this material. I worked very hard on this. Not many people was convinced that was the right material to make this news, but then to see that at the end I was right, and now all the world is crazy for this material. We are selling now in 60 country, and the feedback is amazing from all around the world.
Like I know, I'm aware of it. You said in more than 50 countries, I believe. Is that right?
Yeah, around 60.
60 now. It's incredible.
Yes.
And I know that Born to Run is one of your slogans.
Yes.
Where are you and your company going to run to now?
Born to Run is nice because also at my age, I is not more so young, but Born to Run is a philosophy in the company. All people that live here, I don't check the time. I don't check. We check only the goal that we need to go together. All people work in very nice way. I have so many people that work with me with me in really with me. We work together for the result. We share the problem. We share the result, and so we really was born to run, and we run very fast also now.
I read that in one of your interviews that you felt that pessimism today amongst a lot of young people particularly is very wrong, and we need to show more energy. Part of your company philosophy is without money, yes, but dreamless, never. Could you say a little bit more about that?
Yes, when I started with my first project, my free stamps, I was concentrated on the product, on what I like to do, and I never was thinking that one day I will be rich. I never was thinking at this point. I was working. I was using all my energy to have the right product, the right company. I like to have the new things. For example, now we are using also the robot in the company, and but for me it's very important to work in nice way to have the people that is happy, and the money is a second matter. For sure we need the money. For sure we need the money. For sure we need to have the money. But was never my first idea to have the money. So the dream, the possible dream, naturally, the dream is very important. Also now I have the dream, some other dream, and we are working for this.
I think one thing that's really lovely about your company, just to end, Marco, is that the philosophy that you had as a child and growing up is still very present in everything that you do.
Can you repeat? Excuse me. Can you repeat the question?
The values and the passion that you had when you were growing up, when you were a young man, is present throughout your company and in everything you do.
Yes, absolutely. Yes, I think that this is always important and was important, especially when I was really poor boy without no money. This is the first important things. If you have the passion, you have you like your work, there is no problem. You have no problem.
Marco, it's been a real pleasure to speak with you. Thank you so much for your time, and all the best for the future.
Thank you. Thanks for your interview. I hope that one day you can come in Italy to visit our company, so you will understand much better as we work.
I would love to. You take care.
Thank you.